I got something really exciting I want to show you guys today, and what I'm about to show you is going to change the game when it comes to retouching portraits. Now, I know a lot of us are sick and tired of hearing about AI, and I've covered a lot of AI stuff, but we just have to embrace it because it's in our lives now and it's not going anywhere. And the team over at Skylum, you know, the same people that made Luminar Neo, well, they have a brand new app that's specifically designed for retouching portraits. It's actually so good, and it's called Aperty, and I want to show you guys what it does. So enough yapping, let's get on the computer and see what it can do. All right, so I have some images loaded in Aperty. I have a raw file here. I have some JPEGs, different lighting scenarios, different levels of retouching. So I have some easier images, and then I have some more tricky stuff, which I want to show you because it's pretty crazy what it can do. Now, when you come in here, you've got your develop options, which is really similar to something like Lightroom. So you have your white balance, your temperature and tint adjustments, and you have your exposure adjustments and contrast, everything that you would get basically in Lightroom for developing, but we don't want to look at that. This is pretty self-explanatory. You can figure that out on your own. But what we want to go to is the retouching. So we have skin options, we got eyes, we got mouth, we have makeup, and body skin. So that's below the face, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, let's just start out right now with the blemish removal because that's what you guys want to see. This image here, you can see we've got quite a bit more acne going on and there's hair coming across the face. So I want to see what this can actually do when we turn up blemish removal. And I got to try out the demo when I was in the Azores earlier this year, and it was pretty cool to see what they were working on at that point, but this is so much better. As you can see, it did a really good job removing those blemishes. And if you want to, we can actually click here and see the before and after. So you can see what it's actually doing, and it looks very natural. It's not trying to like smooth the skin out like crazy. It's just doing what I would actually do. Now we might want to smooth the skin out a little bit more here. Just a bit more here. And what's really cool is she does have a couple of beauty marks here, like some moles and stuff like that, and it's not getting rid of those. Now coming out in the future, outside of the beta, they're gonna have some mask refining stuff for beauty marks. You will notice sometimes that it does kind of blur those out if you want to keep them. And this looks great. Now, obviously, if you did want to come in here and get rid of these beauty marks, they actually have a clone tool, which is really cool. I'm glad they added that. You can go up here. They have the clone tool or erase. You could just use the eraser on it and do something like this. And then if you want to remove hair, you can actually do it that way. Because so far right now, this is something we asked for, was to have hair strand removal, but I feel like that's maybe too far down the road in development, but the clone tool is still going to work because that's what we'd normally use anyway. And this might be one of the better clone tools. I think it's even better than Photoshop, to be honest. And yeah, so you can easily clean stuff up like that with the clone tool. Super easy. On this one, I might want to do the eye enhancement. She has really nice green eyes here. And we can crank the iris flare up a little bit here and eye enhancement. And that looks really good. That's straight out of camera from Fuji. And I would obviously spend a little bit more time on it and it'd be done. But now I want to show you something that's really cool. They have something called Studio Light. And basically you can relight your scene. So what we can do here is we can add a spotlight and you can show it on the canvas here. And this is really cool because it's doing something like a depth map. So I can move this light around and you're gonna see the shadows and everything change based off where I'm moving this. So that's really cool. We don't really need it on this image, but if you wanted to add more of a dynamic look to your shot or a more dramatic look to your shot, you can use relighting, add a little bit more shadows and a little bit more brightness and have like a source light coming from a different location. Not gonna use it for this shot, but I just thought I'd show you. You can change the color, the saturation, and the amount of it. Then of course they have LUTs. You can add LUTs to it. Film grain if you want to add a bit more grain to the image, make it look more filmic. You've got vignetting. They've added so much stuff into this app. It's really cool. I don't want to go through it all or else this video will be so long. I think what we really wanted to see was mostly just the retouching. All right, so I have an image here that I know is way trickier for this to have to retouch. Now, unfortunately, the model tripped and cut her chin like the day before. So there's a bit of makeup on it, but we just kind of left it because I was like, whatever, I'll just fix it in post. Now I want to see what this can do because this is a pretty tricky situation. If you go to blemish removal, I'm just going to crank that to 100% and see what it does. And it got rid of all the redness, removed a couple zits. Again, didn't remove the hair, which I'll have to go back in and do later, but it already did most of the work. It takes like 2 seconds to fix that stuff. If I was to turn the skin smoothing up, I wonder if it'll get rid of more of that. Did a little bit more. Now what I can do is I can go in and use the clone tool or the erase tool and actually remove that. So what I'll do is I'll go in and do that right now. It'll take like 2 seconds to get rid of this. Just brush that out. Boom, gone just like that. And then of course I'd want to go in and remove these little hair strands here. So I'm just going to go in here and erase those. And that took me like what, 2 seconds? Pretty easy, much quicker than doing it the old dodge and burn method. And that looks really good. And now this could be a good candidate for trying something else here that they have. They also have face slimming. I don't really know how well that works. Try that out a little bit. Yeah, it did. It moved it in a little bit. Probably don't need that for this, but I really just wanted to see if we could actually remove that little cut on your chin, and it did a great job. Now, I don't know if a lot of you are thinking in your head, does this do batch processing? Will it just run through a whole bunch of images and retouch them for you? Unfortunately, it doesn't do that, but you can do some cool stuff here. I'm going to show you on this image here. So this is a great candidate for this, and I'm going to go in here and do blemish removal. Quick and easy. It's going to get rid of those. Takes like 2 seconds. That's done. I don't even need to do skin smoothing on this because it doesn't need it. Now I would probably go in and remove this hair strand here, and just remove this hair strand like that. There's like a bunch here I'd remove. I'm not going to make this perfect because this is just for testing purposes only. And then we can do the before and after. You can see how good of a job it did. So the cool thing is you can copy all these settings and then apply it to other images that are similar. So if I had the exact same shoot, which I did, I had 3 images here from the exact same shoot. So I'm going to go up here and go copy, and then just highlight these 2 images here and then hit paste. And it's going to apply the exact same blemish removal, skin smoothing, all your settings that you would have from that one image, and apply it over to your other images. So right here you can see it fixed these shots up. This was a pretty tricky shot because it had a lot of contrast in it. Did a great job. I'm going to show you the before and after here. Boom. Just like that. So if you had like 80 images from that shoot and it's the same person, you can just apply those settings and it's going to fix all the same spots. Now, if you had multiple people, I think they're working on that right now. So that's looking really good. It looks really natural. And speaking of natural, they have 3 pillars of value they wanted to accomplish when making this app. They wanted natural looking results. They wanted speed using AI automation. And I think it's only going to get faster when it comes out of beta. And it's on device, so you have privacy. It's doing all the AI stuff and processing on your computer, and it's not sending it off to the cloud somewhere and then sending it back to you, which a lot of AI stuff does because it does take a lot of computing power. And it does run pretty good on my system. I do have an M1 Mac. It's an M1 Ultra, so it's pretty high-end computer, but it should be okay on most people's computers. I have tried it with RAW files and JPEGs. Obviously, the RAW files are a little bit slower. Again, this is beta, it's gonna get quicker, and I'm showing you in real time what it's doing, so there's no tricks at trying to speed it up. Now, some of you might be wondering if it has plugins. So the cool thing is they already have plugins designed. If you go up here and you go to install plugins, they have it for Photoshop and Lightroom Classic right now. I have them both installed. I want to show you what it's like for a round trip coming out of Lightroom. So if we go to Lightroom Classic here, so I could do all my culling and editing in Lightroom and then bring them over to Aperty and do all of my retouching there. So I don't know, let's just do a quick edit on this image here. So I can go here, go up to File and go to Export. And then at the top here, you can see where it says Aperty. So it's gonna dump it over as a TIFF, no compression. So we go Export. Now it's gonna export this and it's gonna instantly launch Aperty. Yep, and you can see the images in here. Then we can go up here to our blemish removal. Now this is a high-res TIFF file. So it's gonna take a little bit longer. So there we go. It did the blemish removal, did a really good job. pretty much fixed what I had. We'll do some skin smoothing on it. And then when that's done and you're happy with everything, you can go to apply, and then it's gonna process that and then dump it back into Lightroom. So I wanna show one image here with the body skin option, so you can smooth out the body skin as well, because you know, sometimes people have some acne or bumps and stuff like that on their actual skin outside of their face. And as you can see, it smoothed out the stuff under her arms, and you can increase the detail, and you can do some skin color correction and things like that. I'm gonna crank that right up. You'll see all these little bumps kind of clean up a bit. I'll show you what it's like before and after. So that was before, and this is after. It smooths it out a little bit. Obviously, she didn't have a lot to deal with, but I have tried it on some other images, and it does a pretty good job. Now we can turn the blemish removal up on this one on her face. This is a side profile shot. So again, it's recognizing all these different face shapes, and it only needs to see half the side of the face to know that it's a face, which is really good. And does a great job. Now, obviously there's some hair strands here. I would probably choose to leave them in this because it kind of fits the image. But again, you'd have to use the clone tool or the erase tool in here to actually fix those. Anyway, I think that's all I want to cover in this video. Obviously there's more features in here. We've got makeup and stuff like that, which I'm not going to add makeup to my images, but maybe you want to, and maybe you want to see that. I don't know, but this is all I really want to show in this video. Obviously we could keep going on forever, but yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comment section below. I'll try to help you out. Good job, team. I'm talking to the Aperty people. You guys crushed this. It turned out awesome, and I'm really stoked to see something like this for portrait photographers, because up until now, we just manually have to do it. And if we want it to look natural like this, we have to do it ourselves because AI isn't good enough. Until now, it looks really good. So that's Aperty, and I've been waiting for something like this for so long. I'm so tired of doing the old dodge and burn method. I've been doing that for far too long, and I've even tried retouching plugins for Photoshop, and they're okay. But this is so much better. It's already saved me so much time. I've used it on a few client projects, and it's pretty awesome what you can do with it. It's also really awesome that they teamed up with my good friend Julia Trotti to bring this to portrait photographers, because she knows exactly what we need, and this is exactly what we need. Obviously, there's a few more things that will be coming out because this is still in beta. But let's talk about pricing. So they have a few options until September 30th, 2024, which is probably the day I'm going to post this. They have a lifetime access option for $249, but that's literally just to the end of September 30th, which if you didn't watch it today, you're probably not going to get that. Now, from October 1st to November 6th, 2024, they're going to have a 1-year subscription price, which is discounted. It's going to be $199 and then renewed after that. But starting November 7th, 2024, the normal subscription price is going to kick in at $29.90 USD per month, or $299 for 1 year. And they said that they're going to have a 14-day money-back guarantee if you don't like it. But there is no free trial, so you will have to pay for that month. Yeah, so thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give it a thumbs down twice. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next one. Done.